when we're underneath in half guard, and we were saying I'm actually going to put some of this stuff on video properly for Paul Collover in Sheffield and Martin Wilbert in Darton, because Martin called it intangible truths, and I thought this is really interesting what he's on about, because you have to be aware that underneath you have to understand the same counter game as the guy knows on top. And Alex has been saying that you can be more than each other with the right position from the belt riding to extract your leg in the half guard. So underneath, if you're playing half guard underneath, we've got to know what to do regarding the first two phases of the three phases of fighting. So I'll waffle really quickly and we can get on with training. Remember, there's three phases to fighting, with any grappling at all. And if we're on the ground, it's the same. The first phase is the grip. The second phase is the displacement of him when you've got the grip. And the third phase is then you do a technique. Okay? So you grab him, you piss him off, you throw him. However you want to think about it, it's always the same. There's a grip, a posture break, then a move. Grab him, upset it, choke him. However you want to see it, okay? Underneath, we have to, first of all, before we can do a move, we have to accept that you've also got to use those three phases of fighting. So if the man on top is in half guard, and he's in half guard, and he's clamped onto you, our problem is that he's got his grips, and he's already looking to work the second phase to displace you. So his leg's going to be starting to come out and he's upsetting you. Then he's going to do his move and extract his leg. Or arm it, or strangle it. So underneath, we have to know what to do depending on where he's in front. We have to work those first two phases. And it's that invisible stuff where everything's happening, but actually nothing's happening to write about. But it's where all the real jiu-jitsu is. The third phase is basically addition and subtraction. If you notice that, the first two phases are like advanced physics. It's far deeper, far more important. Right. So I'm going to go back to front with you lads because you already looked at the right position. If you look at when somebody belt rides you, so he's definitely in half guard and he swims over. Right. We have to know what to do here in my position, okay? Because if I'm doing the wrong thing, he's already got grips. We've both got a leg grip, so that's one each. One each. One for me, one for him. Right? He's got that grip and that grip. Well, as far as my addition and subtraction goes, that's 3-1 to him. So the next thing that's going to happen is he's going to start messing me up and getting his leg out. And however he does it is up to him, but it's going to be all hard work. Right, yeah, exactly. So I need to know what to do in these first two phases. Right, so my issue, really, is this. Is that if I only know about turning in towards him, he just has to block that. Okay? My real problem is the fact that Chris's bottom hip, this one here, is on the floor and against me. That's the problem. It's pinned into the floor. And I need to understand, first and foremost, how I can get that off the floor. Because whilst it's pinned there, I can only turn into him. And he just blocks that. Somebody can only go one way, just block it. When you're playing underneath in half guard, and the person on top has got grips, not before, when he's got grips, my first idea needs to be that I'm trying to uproot a tree. You've got to shake it and get the roots loose. And then get it moving and see which way it shifts. Because it's his job to get more and more fixed to me. And it's my job to get him away from me and feeling unstable. Does everybody follow that? It's really important that you do. The issue is that I could only try and turn that way. Okay? And he's blocking it. I've got to get this hip off the floor. And it's done with a half pendulum and a stomp. Look at that. Oops. Hardly anything happens, but everything happens. So the idea here, if you want to get off with Chris, so I can show, I want you to do this first, and I'll overlap the hell out of it. But unless the first principle's right in your head, the rest of it's going to be shite. Okay? I've got to get this off the floor. He's on the floor and against me. I either want him on the floor and away from me, or right on me and not on the floor. If he's got both, you're knackered. And I'll show you some other ways about this as well. I'll show you some other additions. So my idea is that you can cross your feet or not, your choice, but make sure your knees nip together. So you swing into him, like you're doing a pendulum. So pendulums would be, like an exercise. So you'll swing into him, and then when you bring it back, when you get halfway, you bring your knees up and this toe on the floor and squeeze. That allows you to do a single-legged bridge and drop your knees that way. And it looks mental. We're doing a little bit of this. You'll see more details of this today because these have already done the belt ride. They hadn't at Steve, so I didn't go into it all. Yep. If you look at what happens again, Chris here. Chris is just helping me. He's swimming over. We're not doing hand grips. We're looking at the hips, and he's jammed right up to me. Perfect, Chris. Just with your hips. So you don't have to use your hand. That's it. And he's helping me because he's pushed right into me, and he's right into the floor. So that's helping me. He can't get any heavier, so I have to make sure that I understand how my leg goes over his. Can you see that? How I can. You feel that, Chris? It lifts that. It lifts that up. And like I said, just do that first so you get that feeling. Thank you very much. Just do that and I'll overlap this a lot.